If you're an author who keeps trying to plan your marketing month like you're a robot with unlimited energy, and then you wonder why you're exhausted, foggy, or falling off the plan by week 2, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about the Woo is You, practical magic for planning that actually works. I'm going to show you my simple monthly system. Start with your personal energy cycle, set business and personal goals that match your season of life, choose how you want to feel, and then use easy woo anchors like crystals, mantras, or a quick crystal grid, and even weekly card pulls to stay focused and grounded. No perfection, no weird pressure, just a plan that feels like you and works in real life. Let's get into it and talk about the woo.
Hello, friends. Rebecca Pachorik, Authors Allies by Blue Dot. I'm so excited to be sharing what I know about how the woo has affected my life and my business. I'm the owner of Blue Dot Digital Marketing, and I've been in business for 16 years, since 2009, actually. The reason that we're here today is that we are sharing a little bit about the woo, right? And for me, the woo is you. And what does that really mean? So the point of your own spiritual practice is not to copy someone else's rituals, right? It's creating your own special sauce, the way that you do things, just like it is with any practice. Whether you are a person who believes in God, universe, or nature, whatever it is, right? Your woo supports your own plan. Now, the goal for me is to be able to get clarity, momentum, and a grounded sense of kind of a, I know what I'm doing kind of a thing, right? For me, it was really interesting the way that this all came about. So, several years ago, once I started hitting menopause, I realized that my brain cells were just not the same that they used to be, right? And I got involved with some business coaching around 2019, 2020. And for the first time in my business, I had assistants, I had coaching, I had people trying to help me figure out where I was going. I needed that. I just didn't know what was going on. My mom is no longer with us. And I had no one to explain to me all of the little nuances of what happens with your brain during perimenopause and menopause. And so one of the first things that I did was I did some exercises to learn what my energetic cycles are. I wasn't really having the same monthly cycles that I had been my whole life. And so everything was in flux, and I really needed to discover my own rhythm. And that's just not a one size fits all. You know, many people have a 9 to 5 job, they get up at the same time, go to bed at the same time, do all the same things. For me, it was just a little bit different. I'm the type of person who isn't a morning bird or a night owl. I'm kind of an in between, right? Like there's days where I wake up really early, and then the middle of the day, I totally need to crash and burn and take a nap. And then maybe I'll stay up till midnight. My preferred rhythm would be to get up at 7, stay up until around 11. But that's just not the way it always works, especially once you hit a certain age. And so one of the first things I did to find out my own personal energy cycle was I did a time audit and did some energy tracking. And with this video, I am providing you a free downloadable course and workbook to help you figure that out, right? After I figured all of that out, then I realized that it was time to start working with that rhythm, with my own personal energy cycles. And one of the things that really helps me is to create some monthly business and personal goals. When you're an entrepreneur, the world that you live in is very much combined. So your business and your personal life are totally going to overlap, right? And these goals that you have each month within your personal and your business life, they are going to really relate to the season of life that you're in, whether you're really busy with kid activities or the holidays, whether you're in a healing mode from either past trauma or some sort of physical healing or illness, whether you're in a building mode for your business, or maybe you're in a launch mode. So the goals that you have each month are going to be a little bit different. Once I realized what these goals are, the next step in my monthly planning is then deciding how I want to feel. This was the biggest part of figuring out the woo for me. I used to just plan all these goals and it was all about the numbers and hustle, hustle, move, move. I did not take into consideration how I wanted to feel, what I wanted my body to feel like, and what I wanted my mind to feel like. Okay. And so some people may want to feel calm. Maybe you want to feel lit up. Maybe you want to feel focused, supported, brave, magnetic, confident. Whatever this month looks like for you, you're going to want to figure out your goal. If this month were successful, I would feel what? And this is going to be really important. So, as a quick review, first, you're going to figure out your own personal energy cycle. Then, to find your woo, you're going to set goals in both your business and your personal life. The third step to finding your woo is deciding how you want to feel about these decisions, these goals, and your life. And then the fourth step is really what is, I think, the most fun step is going to be matching the woo to your feelings. For instance, you're going to want to choose some anchors. For me, I am using crystals, affirmations, and mantras. Once I decide what those feelings and those goals are, this is when I'm going, okay, well, what crystals can go with those feelings? What crystals can help me with those goals? What affirmations or mantras do I want to be reciting through the month to help anchor in these feelings? And then we're going to make it practical. You might post little sticky notes around your office. You may want to write it in your planner, pop it onto your desk. You'll see I will share some photos in the screenshots here. I have various crystals on my desk. For instance, my word of the year is ignite this year. If you're watching this in 2026, my ignite is carnelian. My crystal for ignite is carnelian. Look at how big this baby is. This thing is sitting right here on my desk so that when I'm working, if I just need to grab it and just anchor in to that feeling of really needing to pump myself up and ignite the fire within for my business, I can just grab my crystal or take a peek at it. The other crystal that really helps me is fluorite. You probably won't be able to see the beauty of this guy here, but he is a purple and a turquoise and kind of a teal color all rolled into one. This is a raw stone, but I do also leave this one, as well as the carnelian here, right on my desk where I can use them and look at them and just kind of touch base with them and pull myself back into what my goals are as I'm doing it throughout the day. Really helpful to do that. Now, once I've decided on sort of the crystals and the affirmations that I'm going to use, then step 5 is something else really fun. Because I'm loving my crystals so much and I'm a very visual person, I purchased a little wooden crystal grid, and I'm going to show you a picture of that here as well. And what the grid does is it brings that visual into my energetic commitment, right? And so this is a way for me to be able to visualize my feelings becoming my goals, which are then intertwined, right, within the anchor of the crystals. So you'll have like a central stone for your main feeling. And then I choose some supporting stones that are going to go along the outside. And I will usually write my intention or like a mantra or word of the month with it and kind of slide it under the grid. So using all of these things together is a really fun and anchoring way to really help me focus. I know my family really thinks that I am completely loony and got off the deep end on this, but I cannot tell you how much these different types of small rituals have helped me to bring all the brain cells together and focus them in and calm myself down on what I'm trying to achieve in this later season of life. And so looking at the crystals, having my mantras, wearing my crystals. You'll see that I have a crystal on almost every day in some shape, way, or form. These are all ways to ground myself and to remind myself of what it is that I am trying to achieve. And one of the last things that I do that I just recently started doing, I would say towards the end of last year, and I have been pulling cards within my membership. I run the Authors Allies Roundtable membership. So it is a done with you marketing membership for authors. And I have been pulling cards every Monday morning, whether it's Oracle, Tarot, whatever cards, just kind of call to me. And I usually pull 2 or 3 cards and share them, take a photo of them and share them within my group. And we all have a little bit of a chat about it and what it means to us for the week. Again, another way to help do a little shadow work, right? Do a little thinking, journaling, and pull all of our energies and our cycles together to really help us ground in our goals for the month, for the week, for the particular day. And again, these are just additional ways that you can really reflect and connect on what it is that you are trying to do. So, to put it all together for you, for your monthly Woo Is You planning system, you're going to figure out your energetic style check-in. What type of energy style do you have? You're going to set your business and personal goals. You're going to choose the feeling that you are going for through the month. You're going to decide on some sort of anchoring item. I use crystals, affirmations, and mantras. You may have some other sort of little symbol or something that you like to use. In my case, I also then create a grid or update some sort of display, and then consider doing some weekly card pulls, journaling, something that's going to also help you continuously be thinking throughout the month what these goals are and how you can incorporate the things you're doing in your life to keep the feelings going that you want to have while you are working on these goals. And one of the most important things to remember is that these are flexible things that you're doing, right? Any spiritual practice is meant to be personal and it's meant to evolve as you go along. And so I invite you to think about what feeling you are calling in this month or this next month, whenever you're going to be doing your practicing. What is a tool that you can use as an anchor to the feeling that you are trying to hold on to? And again, keep in mind, I am providing you with a free energy cycle course to go with this and help you figure it out, which will include a video and a workbook. So you'll be able to do all of that. And I'll list some of the resources that I have used to help me pull this together. But I just want to really make sure that the main takeaway I leave you with is your spiritual practice, your practice with the woo. It is all about you.
That's all for this episode of Authors Allies. We hope you enjoyed our exploration of the literary world. Be sure to stay tuned for our next episode where we'll have more fascinating interviews, book reviews, and marketing tips. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. Leave us a review and share us with a friend. To get your free copy of our ebook, 10 Steps to Your Ultimate Book Marketing Plan, be sure to head over to our show notes. Until next time, happy reading and writing.